let's talk about real world towing experience with this truck. This is the first time I'm towing something a little heavier. 30-foot trailer with 12,000 pounds of steel on it. You guys commonly hear this truck has more than enough power. So how is one supposed to understand what's what and what's where? Specifically real world experience, that's what I want to underline. Not much with the Duramax, but the last vehicle I got out of was a 24 Ford, so that's the most relevant in the market new vehicles that I could compare to. The 24 Ford, is the same truck in 25, so you guys could still compare that. So what I wanted to underline on this 25 Ram 3500 is the real world around town. I will separate the comparison around town and the interstate. These are completely two different beasts, and what I found is going to surprise a lot of you guys. This Cummins is a lot more raw than the Power Stroke. Power Stroke is a lot quieter, and everyone says quieter like cab space. No, guys, there's so much more to towing than just that. You know what I mean? You got transmission, you got engine, you got the rear end, you got tires, all that equates to it, right? Then you got vibration. You guys cannot feel that in the camera, but I can feel that. You know, Ford doesn't do that. Ford doesn't do those vibrations. They don't put the ring through the frame, and that frame puts it in the cab like the Cummins does right now. So the bottom line is, around town, the Ram has more power. Around town, this Ram is super aggressive. It feels resistance. I call it torque on demand tuning. Whatever the manufacturer is doing, you know, it's ready to go. I'm baby footing this throttle because, you know, I've done a video towing 9,000 pounds. My throttle position was not much more than what it is now. I mean, I'm hovering over that throttle. I want to stress that, and I can't stress that enough, how in tune this engine is, this whole mechanism is with the resistance. So it feels resistance. 17,000 pounds behind it. That's that's trailer and load behind the truck. That's not the gross, that's just behind the truck. So that's trailer and load, and it just freaking turns up the dial. If anything, I'm backing off the throttle a little more with the 17,000 than I was with the 9,000. Yes, sir, you heard me right. This truck feels the resistance, and it freaking just turns it up. I love it. Absolutely love it. I hate it from a longevity standpoint. I don't know how bad this affects the longevity, because any cabin chassis is not going to do this. I'm pretty sure cabin chassis are gonna tune it down and take it easy, but man, this is Mr. King of the Hills, what it's like to play. So those gauges, they pretty much hover right there. This truck has the ability to bring down the temps and bring them down hard, but I don't know why it decides to do that. If I park this truck and it realizes getting parked, it will nosedive those temps, which is phenomenal. But I think it's something to do with the emissions, where it needs specific operating temps. So those canisters, as far as DOCs and all the catalysts are piping hot, so they could take a load, meaning, you know, they could take a load and they could burn through it efficiently and pass emission standards. I think that's where that's coming from. Even though the Ford kind of had the same oil temp, but the coolant on the Ford was 7-8 degrees cooler at all times. So anyways, what stood out the most to me around town is the ability for it to turn up the knob. You would think, like an older truck, the heavier it got, the slower, the duller it got. No, sir, not this truck. It feels resistance. It just freaking turns up the dial. It's refined as far as how it does it. You know, it's not boastful, but it sure as heck turns up the dial, and it's crazy, because 17,000 pounds, nothing to sneeze at. It's not its max either, you know. But the average Joe doesn't even pull 17,000 pounds behind their truck. You know, me, it just depends what day of the week it is. You know, I pull anywhere from 5 pounds to 25,000 pounds behind my truck. So all these newer single rear axle fill that gap pretty good. Anyways, as far as heating, I didn't climb any crazy hills, but I will talk about the highway in a different video. But around town, exhaust brake, And what they did with the transmission, I am going to do a video on that. It is freaking awesome what they did. They used the transmission. I want to call it a hydraulic brake at this point, what they're doing with the tranny. Phenomenal. Like, I can't applaud ZF doing this. ZF's the one that built these trannies. So, to wrap up this video, around town, this thing is a beast. It flips on beast mode when it feels that something's dragging, it's pulling something, and it's feeling the resistance behind it. Oh my goodness. And the exhaust brake is a whole different, I'm going to do a different video on the exhaust brake, but let me tell you this. The exhaust brake is on par. It turns up the knob, and I freaking love it. Couldn't be happier. As far as loaded truck and driving around a loaded truck, I couldn't be happier with this Ram. Gives you this little tractor feeling, the right tool for the job. I love it. Anyways, fellas, hang around, stick around for my journey of exploring this 25. I will cover as many areas as I can. For the people that know me, my big case is wrapped up, and glory to God for that nightmare to be over with. One day I might sit down in front of the camera and share the whole story. For years I've been saying, guys, just one day I'll tell you the story. So to my regulars, it's over, it's done. Time to live and then move on with life. Anyways, so with that case being over, you guys should see a lot more videos out of me, and Paul being a lot more focused now. Probably more positive too. Anyways, may the good Lord bless you. May y'all have a mighty fine day, and just throw ideas in the comment section. What else you want to know? Kind of in my mind, I got highway towing pending. I got transmission and the hydraulic braking that it does. I got exhaust brake on the highway. Temps, what it's doing with the temps. Why single rear wheel versus dual wheel, and why do I have certain things on order, and why are they not the standard? I got a few videos in my mind. They're actually on a list on my phone, so as time goes on, I have plenty of content and I can share it with you guys. But please shoot in the comment section what else you guys want to hear, and what topics you want me to cover. Hopefully you guys notice that for some reason it hangs on to third gear. This truck has a lot of issues, and that's what another video is going to be about. Yes, I know I bought the first model year, and the first year I was expecting issues. I just thank God it's not leaving on the side of the road. So that's another thing, issues on this truck. There's a lot of videos coming on that. So may the good Lord bless you. May you all have a mighty fine day. Ciao.